All right. 22 seconds. No pressure. There's an app for that? Don't. Really? I need a protractor. 10 seconds. All right. Are we going live? We're going to go live here. 2 seconds. All right. So, the beginning of this talk is something I've done for many, many years as part of the RKC, and now we're in phase 2 of StrongFirstGirya, and it's my honor and privilege to give this talk. It's my favorite talk. It's 2006 when I first got to be a senior instructor, and Pavel sent me an email basically says, Ruth, I'd like you to give a speech talk at the Cert. I said, okay, what? It's like, well, what is the system? It's like, wow, you want me to describe your entire life's work in 15 minutes or less? Me? It's like, okay, I'll give it a wing. Because this thing has been an amazing experience for me and my family and for everyone that I've been involved with for so many years. It's unbelievable. So, what is StrongFirstGirya? So, what happened, what this is about is a story. I'm going to tell you a story. I used to say, gather around children, I'm going to tell you a story. That's where David came up with. I'm going to tell you a story about the man who brought the light of strength into the dark, weak world of fitness. Okay? 1998, Pavel wrote an article in Bible magazine called Vodka, Pickle Juice, Kettlebell Lifting, and Other Russian Pastimes. This was an amazing article. This was a paradigm shift. This is a tipping point in the exercise world. I've been involved in the exercise world really since I was 14, and I'm like 180 years old, so it's really a long time. No, I've been involved, and I've seen all the trends come and go. And when I read this article, it piqued my interest, and that was 1998. Because what was happening, there was a shift when I saw this, and in 2001 when the kettlebell came out, and I got exposed to it, I got my hands on the kettlebell, I got my hands on Pavel's DVD, and I realized what a change this was. This was a change, this is a tipping point and a paradigm shift in the exercise world from the cosmetic, superficial isolation training of aerobic and bodybuilding methods to the functional, fully integrated, fully strength-based system that has become the StrongFirstGirya system and what it is now. So the first thing we need to know that it is a system. And so what is the definition of system? So one of the definitions of a system is an organized set of principles and ideas. Okay, so what are the principles and ideas? Well, the first principle is that the swing is the center of the universe. Okay? I always try to get a laugh at that, but it's really true. It's the center of our universe. Okay, but the other principle is that strength is the master quality, and that strength is a skill and has to be trained as such. Okay, so we're looking at basic principles. The swing is the center of our universe, and that strength is the master quality from which all things flow, and that strength is a skill and can be trained. But also, it's important that the body is a linked, interconnected system. Okay, think about that. But the body is a linked, interconnected system. It must be trained as such, and that must be practiced. So if you look back into the 70s and 80s, no one knew about this. Now we all take it for granted. It's like, oh yeah, the body's a linked, interconnected system. We're going to do functional training, right? That wasn't done before. And Pavel always likes to say, well, yeah, this is a trend. It's only 300 years old, so it probably won't last. Okay, so strength is a skill. It has to be trained as such. It's also that skill, it's a deep skill. And deep skill is the path to mastery. Okay, so you have strength as a skill. I'm going to get my notes because I don't want to mess this up, because this is too important to mess up. The strength is the mastery quality. Body's a linked, interconnected system. Okay, deep skill is the path to mastery, and avoid random acts of riding. So we've all seen lots of random acts of riding. Okay, that means when it gets hard, you do something else instead of pushing through. Okay, so that's the other problem. Do more with less. What we have and what Pavel has come up with is what we used to refer to as high-tech, low-concept. It's a ball. It's a bell with a handle. It's a cannonball with a handle. Because what really matters is what you're doing with your body and how you approach it. And this concept, if you haven't been in this exercise world and you haven't seen all these things come and go, you wouldn't realize that, well, you can see it now because you see the craziness that passes for exercise or fitness. Okay? So you do more with less. And you look at deep skill as the path to mastery. And mastering, what it comes down to is mastering your body. So the other part is the mind is an integral part of this system. This is an internal system. You're focused not on, you can't, the kettlebell is compelling. The system is compelling. The principle is compelling. You can't watch CNN while you're on the treadmill and focus on these things. And that's a good thing. Okay? You have to be engaged mentally. You have to be focused mentally because that changes everything. So, one of the other things that we're talking about is the mind is an integral part of this system, and what this system is that the model that we have is, and you see that in the manual, is that adopted from the Marine Corps martial arts program, one mind, any weapon. Okay, one mind, any weapon. And what's the one weapon of choice for this system? The entry into the strength world is the kettlebell, hence StrongFirstGirya. Okay, I opened my studio in 2003, our studio in 2003, and called it Girya, the art of strength. Okay, later changed that to just Girya strength. Because I knew right away when I got my hands on this belt, because I was coming at it from a gymnast and a powerlifting background, that there was something special here, or something unique here. Okay, this forced me to focus. This forced me to mind immediately of gymnastics, swinging that belt. So, this is the penultimate system to increase strength, core capacity, endurance, flexibility simultaneously. And that's a big plus, because most of your students that you're going to work with, that you're going to do, they want a system that's going to be encompassing, that's going to get them in shape fast, strong, flexible, healthy, and not get them hurt. And we have it all here. In this one little thing, the entry point into this kettlebell. So this one mind, any weapon. We have, like I said, this is a principle-based system. So we have the kettlebell as the entry point. We also have the barbell and the bodyweight circuits. But again, they're based on the principles. And everything that you've learned here today and you're going to learn the rest of the weekend focuses on these principles. And again, these deep skills, the body's only system, how to train it. Train it as such. You also have another definition of a system, which is an interrelated, interdependent, and interactive group of elements. Interrelated, interdependent, interactive group of elements that form a complex whole. Okay, so what are the elements of this system? First off, let's start with the ballistic lifts, the swing, the clean, the snatch. This is the primary element. Okay, then we have the high tension principles of the grinds. These are the yin and the yang of this system. Okay, so it's not one or the other, it's one and the other. So you're going to learn how to use these ballistic movements, and then we also have the opposite side. These it's so well empowered people. If you haven't empowered the people, you're missing out on the best book on strength training that there is. I've read them all, even the obscure Russian ones that I can almost read. Okay, because what Pablo's genius is making the complex simple. Okay, making the complex simple. So again, one of the best definitions that has come from this whole system, this evolution in the last 15 years, since I first read Vodka Pickle Juice Kettlebells, was the concept of simplexity. So what's simplexity? Simplexity is a mathematical concept that talks about the emergence of rules from